Hello. So, first of all, what do you think of a new shirt? I mean, I don't know if it's new, but it was found recently, and I thought that I'd show it off here. I mean, I'm probably not gonna wear it much longer after I record this. I have a show tonight, and I want something with a bit of extra shine for that, um, which is generally what I tend towards anyway. But I'm sure that I'll have uses for this one. I just thought that I'd show it off here. Anyway, so early man, I saw that thing. I knew even less about it before I went in than I do about many movies I see. Um, I think that I saw the poster peripherally early in the week, and I thought, oh, it's a caveman thing, animated family comedy. That seems like a jam. Sure, let's do it. But I'd assumed, as I said, I didn't really get a good look at it. I'd assumed that it's just like standard digitally animated fare. But no, it was one of those stop motion affairs from the dudes who basically uh, reigned over that aesthetic for the last several decades. Tip of the hat to that guy from Nightmare Before Christmas who's recently done his own studio. Like those dudes. I mean, yeah, there's some other good ones, but like these dudes I should say. The name's got on my head at the moment, but you know Wallace and Gromit, of course. And then you might also know Chicken Run. Um, also, Flushed Away. If Hugh Jackman's closer to your speed than Mel Gibson, which I mean, obviously, but still. Um, which actually, I was thinking about that. He's basically playing. Is he a, he's a mousy dude, but he might actually be a rat or something. And he's this like tall dude in a tuxedo or something, and he's very urbane, but he's out of place. It. I'm thinking about it. It feels more like a Hugh Grant movie than a Hugh Jackman movie. Although, in fairness, like in the little bit of mainstream exposure Hugh Jackman got before he became Wolverine in the minds of everyone. He was basically a Hugh Grant understudy, wasn't he? Like, Kate and Leopold was the biggest thing he was in before X Men, and that's a Hugh Grant movie. And that's basically like Flushed Away. It's this like gentleman who's out of place in a world that doesn't have time for his uh, antiquated earnestness. Um, the modern world has a whole different kind of earnestness, uh, much less gentle. Um, I'm just gonna talk about Hugh Jackman for a bit. Sure, why not? Yeah, because I mean, when he's in stuff now, you can't get away from saying, "Oh, this isn't Wolverine. This is some other thing," or the dude who's Wolverine is singing now. Which I mean, they said it, 20 years ago when he did that Broadway thing, and they said it like 2 weeks ago when he did The Greatest Showman, which is probably an apt appellation for the man anyway. But anyway, um, I mean, I like Hugh Jackman, and I also like Wolverine, but Hugh Grant's the one who probably has a deeper place in my heart. I mean, I don't. I Love Actually, right? Like, it was. I think that it was building to that, and when I finally saw that in 2007, it basically solidified things. Do I have anything else to say about those chaps? Probably not much, but I will say that one of them's certainly not assless. You can guess though. Hint: it's oddly not the one who has the place in my heart. It's Hugh Jackman. He's the one got who's seems to be known for better buttocks. Hugh Grant seems like the sort of fellow for whom that's a bit of a like. I mean, I don't want to say that it's like an actual weak spot, but it's not something that he's developed to that extent. Which I don't know where Hugh Jackman was in the Kate and Leopold era, but I would assume that since then it just got built up along with everything else, right? That's probably how it works. But I don't know. I could be wrong. That's like I personally, that's not um, the feature that often draws my eye. I don't know why. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really know how to appraise buttocks that well. Um, it just if you see a dude who looks like Wolverine, then he's probably fine down there too. And if you see a tall, lanky dude like Hugh Grant, it's probably less true. Anyway, I was going to talk about Early Man. So yeah, stop motion Wallace and Gromit dudes, good times, and it had a bit of that Wallace and Gromit flair with the absurd inventions, though the ones in this film were less timely and more practical. Um, it's hard to say. Like I don't know who would win in a wild technology contest between Wallace and the anachronistic antagonists of Early Man. They go in very different directions. Um, but the other thing that uh, was slightly surprising about Early Man um, was the fact that it didn't really do much with the caveman setting. Like after the opening act, it basically went to okay, so ostensibly the film's about this like Napoleon aspirant uh, voiced um, uncharacteristically by Tom Hiddleston. I mean, like it's not too far from the sort of character he's dealt with before, but his vocal work is very different. Like I wouldn't have known if I hadn't seen his name on the cast list. So yeah, he comes over and says, "All right, the age of cavemen is over. It's time for the Iron Age or the next thing." Um, and then he basically takes a wide swath of land and essentially transforms it into like modern England. And so the cavemen go there, but then like most of the film is in a modern football arena, and some caricature of Queen Elizabeth II, pops in and out, and has a fairly big role. So yeah, it's basically like without explicit time travel, um, cavemen get embroiled in modern English football culture. And for all that, it was a very good film. Um, the other thing it featured to great effect, uh, I will say this, it unquestionably exceeded Wallace and Gromit in one respect, fashion. So you have cavemen in, timeless animal prints and furs, like those never go wrong with me. Then you have the bad guys in gilt and velvet, and you even have birds in armor. Um, so yeah, and whereas uh, Wallace, who was first introduced to me by my father, could not display any willingness to dress himself properly, and that's a characteristic that my father shared with him, um, among some others. But yeah, Early Man, I don't I'm bad at recommending things because I generally indulge my own proclivities without focusing on like objective worth, but I don't feel too uncomfortable in saying that Early Man is a pretty solid movie. That's in large part because the dudes who made it um, seem to uh, amass acclaim that doesn't just come from me. So yeah, Early Man, it's a good time.